Hello, crazy people on YouTube. This is Penguild. This is my first video. I had another channel called Abayache Zookoye. I've been asked several times to do videos about any random thing, and to be honest with you, I couldn't think of anything. I didn't really feel comfortable making videos. But I figured, in modern world, nothing's private anymore anyway, so this is my first video, so go easy on me. I'm joining a lot of crazy people online. So, be nice. Please. That's all I ask. Just be nice. I mean, you can comment and subscribe, or thumb me down, thumb me up. Doesn't really matter either way, because in the end, it's just a video.
Calling all the monsters, calling all the monsters, calling all the monsters.
Okay, so, today's video is, like I said, random. First one, I'm going with what I have. I've been using a set of Fangs. A couple of my friends wanted to know what I got, where I got it, and how do I use them. So I got these at scarecrowfangs.com. Not entirely sure on what the website is called. I will put it in the description below, so you want to check that out later. These are the regular Fangs. They have a lot of different kinds. They have retractables, they have which are really cool, by the way. I don't have a set, but it'd be cool to have. They have ones that are called the super short or the petite Fangs, which work really good if you have really small teeth, or a smaller mouth, head out the gutter. I got the regular size ones because, as you can tell, I have rabbit teeth, so I figured these ones will work pretty good. So it took probably about a week for them in the mail. They come in a plastic case, which I do not have anymore because I did not expect to do a video on the Fangs. I will show you those. Okay, so when you get them in the mail, they actually come in like a plastic coffin type case with the Fangs are going to be on top. They're just little plastic things. Mine already have the goop in them, so ignore that. But underneath the cloth that the Fangs will be sitting on, there'll be a little container like this. It's just a little plastic container, which doesn't like me opening it apparently. Just a little container. And it comes with a little wooden like spoon or a stick type thing, and these little capsules. Inside these capsules is a powder. It's safe, it's non-toxic, that sort of thing. What they actually have you do, eventually if I get another set, I'll do an instruction video. I messed them up the first time. What you actually do is you just pull these apart. You pull it completely apart, and there's powder in there. You want to get all of it in this little container. And it also comes with, it looks like eye drops. You put, I believe, 2 drops in the container with the powder. You mix it around, and it's going to turn it into like a toothpaste type thing. And you want to take the entire glob of the powder and actually put it inside the plastic casing for the Fang. And while it dries, you actually want to, I should have said this earlier, but you want to reposition it, just so for exactly how you want it to be, because once you have it on there, you do not want to wiggle it around and move it around too much, because it's going to cause a lot of gaps in the setting, so it won't set the way that you want it to, and it won't stay. But when you have the powder and stuff in there, you can do up to 2 of these, one at a time, inside the tooth, if it's not staying the way you want it to, if it's not sticking to your tooth. I had to do 2 applicants for each tooth because I didn't do it correctly. I did not read the instructions like a good person should. what I didn't do that you're supposed to do is when you put it on your tooth and it says you leave it on there for 10-15 minutes, I took it out after the 10-15 minutes. What I didn't know is that when you put it on for the 10 to 15 minutes, you're supposed to leave it there while you're doing the second tooth. And when you put that tooth on, you'll have the full set on, and you have to leave it there. I had to leave it on for like an hour after I put the second application on them because I messed it up. And just to be safe, to make sure that they set correctly, I left them on, I think probably for about 3 hours. You can leave them on for that long. It should not bother you at all to leave them on that long. I do want to warn you though, ahead of time, if you want anything to drink or anything to eat before you do that, do it. Because once you have them in there when they're trying to set, you can't move that well. You have to leave your mouth open. You have to like lean your head back like that so that you don't drool everywhere. And the taste is horrible. The taste is really, really horrible. And they don't smell that great either because of the chemical that's in setting. Let's see. So once you have the fangs where they're setting, they are going to harden to your teeth. What they actually have you do is they have you take your bottom teeth and push on the bottom side of the fangs forward to make them pop out. It kind of scared me to do that because I don't know if you've ever had a tooth pulled, but if you did, and if you were mostly conscious during it, which I'm sorry if you were, that cracking sound you can hear when your tooth breaks, that's what it sounds like, because the plastic is actually separating from your tooth, and it sounds like it's breaking your tooth. It's not. If you did it right, it's not breaking your tooth off, I promise. I was actually a little afraid to use my bottom teeth to push on the inside of the fang, because I didn't want to chip or damage my bottom teeth, because it took a lot to really get them off from my tooth. So what I did is I actually took my thumbs and used it to pull forward. And it is the most horrible sound on the planet to get those things off, but it's worth it. You'll be really surprised because the toothpaste, like powder, goop, slime, whatever you want to call it, that you put inside the tooth hardens, and it's literally like a hard plastic. It's as hard as the cap for the fang. So what I had to do is I had to get a small pair of fingernail clippers, and I got a 4-sided like a nail file. You can find those nail files at Walmart. I actually got mine for like $3. It's not 4-sided, I think it's 6-sided. It has a whole bunch of different like consistencies for filing and buffing and stuff like that. You want to use the softest one that is on that file because you can damage the fang itself if you hit it too hard. But I actually had to put it on and see where it was going to show off too much, and I actually cut that piece off. Like, I don't know if you can see it, but this side has more plastic on it than this side does, because this side is the side that's on the outside of, or the center of my mouth, so it's where they would see it. But on this one, if I can get it, there's more plastic on this side than the other side because it goes on this side. There is a lot more right here than I wanted to be, but I found that it was really hard to cut it off from there, even with the fingernail clippers, because I didn't want to break the whole casing out of the fang, because then I would have had to start all over again. But because it was going to be towards the back of my mouth and nobody would really see it that much, I was willing to deal with it. So that's how you make them, and after you take them out, feel free to set them down somewhere, because you're not going to want to put them back in for a while, just because you're going to be so sick of the taste and the smell of these fangs while they're setting. And I'll be honest, They still have a little bit of a taste and a little bit of a smell from the chemical, but it doesn't linger like it does that first 5 hours. It was horrible. By the way, Scarecrow, need to work on that. But on that note, I would not buy these anywhere else. I had bought the same basic concept quite a few times. If you know my mom, hi mom. Every Halloween I was a vampire. Every Halloween, just because I don't want to say obsessed, but really into the vampire community. So I bought these same basic process and concept at Halloween stores beforehand, but they did not compare to these ones. These ones is a hard plastic inside of it, and it actually stays, and it sticks, and it works. And the other ones that I bought was like a pink goo that goes inside it, and instead of hardening into like a plastic, it would harden into like a rubber. So, I mean, it came out of the Fang a lot easier, it was damaged easier, and they did not last half as long as these ones did. So, after I filed them down and got all the random stuff off, and they fit finally because I did it right the second time. The great thing about this company is that 5 years down the road, if you still have these Fangs, the Fangs are okay, but the casings aren't holding, you can actually go to their website and buy remolding kits. So you'll get this again with the capsules and the liquid and the mixing stick and everything. And you can somehow, I don't know how you're going to get the casing out. I've never done it before, but these things are really in there, so it should be interesting trying to get the casing out if you ever want to. But you can take the casing out and remold it, start all over again for the same Fangs. Me personally, I think I'd probably just buy new Fangs. So this is my left, and it just pops in there, and when you put it in, you can actually hear like a tiny click because it is setting onto your tooth. I haven't worn them in a while. And what I do is I actually use my bottom teeth to push up a little bit and to make sure they actually set there. These ones I probably could have gone with the petite size because they are a little bit bigger than I wanted them to actually be, but it is what it is, and I didn't feel like buying 2 sets. So these are the Fangs. And they stay pretty well on there. You can eat and drink with these in. A lot of people don't recommend it because, let's be honest here. If you accidentally swallow one of these teeth, you do not want to try to have that go through your digestive system. It is not going to be comfortable, and you are not going to like it. So, first video, I didn't completely destroy it. I could have, but let's hope that I didn't. So, those are the Fangs. That's how I got them. That's where I got them. That's how I made them. Not really made them, but molded them. And this is what they look like. And my allergies are killing right now, so excuse the stuffy nose. But common misconception with wearing Fangs is that you have a speech impairment when you wear them. Sometimes you do, sometimes you don't, depending on how you're adjusted to them. With these, I notice I do have a little bit of a lisp, but the common problem with Fangs is that you can't pronounce certain words like Fangs. I can say them, but I have a little bit of a lisp at the end, and vampire. I can say vampire, it's not vampire. So, those are the Fangs, that's how I did it, that's my video. Toodles.